The Galactic Council called humanity the problem. Their solution? Send the galaxy's most feared hunter to capture a human specimen. But when Cathor the Destroyer finally corners his target, he doesn't find a warrior. He finds an 8-year-old girl offering him apple juice. How does the deadliest predator in the cosmos end up carrying a sleeping child back to his ship? The answer will change how you see humanity's place in the stars. Picture this. The Galactic Council chambers at 3:17 a.m. local time. 12 species huddled around a holographic table, 6 of whom don't even sleep during this cycle. The Mithorian. Ambassador's tentacles are twitching. The Zix are emitting stress pheromones that smell like burnt toast, and the floating Pyrexians keep dissolving parts of the table in agitation. They all agree on one thing: humanity is a problem. Not because we're advanced, not because we're warlike, because we're stubborn. Every planet we touch turns green. Ice worlds, desert worlds, worlds with atmosphere that dissolves lead. Doesn't matter. Humans show up wearing pressurized overalls, plant potatoes in the toxic soil, and start naming the local predators like they're adoption candidates. You know those survival sims where you crash land on an alien planet? Humans treat reality like that's Tuesday. The Vulpax ambassador's report showed a human outpost on Naxos 9b, actively breeding the local acid-spitting scorpions as pets. Their notes said, "Remarkably trainable with snacks." Now here's where the panic sets in. Every council crisis follows the same pattern. First they debate, then they delegate, then they overcorrect. Right now they're at stage 3. The Grell scientist throws up schematics. Solution Gamma. A capture mission. Study the human, find its weakness, restore galactic order. Never mind that their idea of study involves more dissection than conversation. See, the council operates on trophy logic. If something's dangerous, you mount its head in the Hall of Conquests. They assume humans work the same way. So when the Zix ambassador suggests dispatching an appropriate retrieval specialist, no one questions why they pick the only hunter in the registry with a "do not resuscitate" clause in his contracts. Cathor the Destroyer's file reads, like a warning label: 18 confirmed trophies from sentient species. Custom armor lined with the bones of things that once ruled solar systems. His contract terms specify payment in either currency or firstborn heirs, and this is who they're sending to Earth's newest colony. What nobody considers: humans don't follow trophy logic. We collect strays. That distinction's about to rewrite galactic history. The Council watches Cathor's departure on the view screen. The Mithorian whispers what they're all thinking. Finally, a permanent solution. In 12 hours, they'll be elbow deep in juice boxes and existential regret. Cathor the Destroyer arrives at the human colony in his usual fashion. Atmospheric entry scorching the landing pad, armor gleaming with the blood of his last kill, vocal modulator set to terrifying bass. His opening line never changes. "I am Cathor the Destroyer," he booms, expecting screams. Instead, he gets a high-pitched "wow." Emma Rodriguez stands there in dinosaur pajamas, juice box in hand. She looks him up and down like he's a museum exhibit. "Are you an alien?" she asks. "You look like a really cool dinosaur. Did you know some dinosaurs had feathers?" Cathor's targeting systems scan for weapons. They register one juice box and a stuffed animal named Mr. Waffles. Here's how the deadliest predator in 4. Galaxy stalls out. First, confusion. He's got protocols for armed resistance, bribery attempts, even poetic surrender. Nothing for enthusiasm. Second, annoyance. His trophy mantle needs a human head, not a child's crayon drawing. Third, something unexpected happens when Emma holds up her juice box. "Do you want some? It's apple." See, Cathor's dealt with warriors, politicians, even other bounty hunters. They all understand the transaction. Violence for money, death for glory. Emma treats him like a stray cat that wandered onto the porch. Researchers call this the kindness disorientation effect. When you're primed for battle and get offered a snack instead, your entire threat assessment software crashes. Now the armor. That stopped plasma bolts gets dribbled with apple juice. The claws that disemboweled the Targaxian warlords carefully pinch a juice box straw. And the worst part? He likes it. Kids have this gravitational pull, the way they assume everything interesting must be friendly. Emma's already explaining how her toy rocket works while Cathor wonders when he became a babysitter. The Galactic Council's extraction protocol didn't account for this. Rule 1. Never let the target name you. But when Emma calls him Mr. Scaly, something in his brain misfires. His tail, normally poised to strike, starts unconsciously wagging. The council wanted him to bring back a human specimen. They're about to get something much worse: nostalgia. Emma, oblivious to galactic politics, takes his claw and tugs him toward the colony. "Come on, Mr. Scaly, I'll show you my rock collection." Cathor's internal monologue sounds like a damaged warship. Consume the child? She put juicebox stickers on his armor? Display her skull in his trophy room? She's explaining which rocks are the shiny ones. This is how the galaxy's most feared hunter ends up crouched in a child's bedroom, listening to a dramatic retelling of the very hungry caterpillar. His ship's computer keeps pinging with the council's increasingly frantic messages. Cathor silences it with one claw while using the other to carefully turn the page. "The bounty contract said capture one human. It never specified in what condition." Meanwhile, Emma's tucked Mr. Waffles under Cathor's arm like he's part of the Storytime Committee. The conqueror of the Zenthar system now holds a teddy bear with the concentration of a bomb technician. His ship's med scanners keep alerting. Decreased heart rate, lowered adrenaline, abnormal serotonin levels. The diagnostics keep flashing life-form status content. This wasn't in the contract. The council paid for terror, not a cultural exchange program. Cathor's combat AI keeps suggesting lethal options, but the targeting reticule keeps drifting to cover Emma when she trips over her own feet. Somewhere in his brain, the danger alerts get repurposed as must-protect signals. Emma yawns. Then the unthinkable happens. "Mr. Scaly, will you tell me a bedtime story?" Cathor's mandibles twitch. His species hasn't done bedtime stories since the first purge. He opens his mouth expecting to recite his kill count. Instead, he makes up a tale about a lonely space dragon who finds friends. It's terrible. Emma loves it. The council's tracking feed shows their apex predator curled around a sleeping human child, armor dimmed to nightlight mode. Their last communication before Cathor turns off his comms. Mission parameters unclear. Stand by for cuddles? The galaxy may never recover. You can armor against weapons, against apple juice and unconditional trust. No known defense. Tomorrow, Cathor will carry Emma back to his ship. Not as a trophy. As a consultant on interspecies relations who pays in juicebox capes and dinosaur facts. The Galactic Councils, about to learn humans don't just survive anywhere, they make everywhere feel like home. And Cathor, he's got new mission parameters. First, find more apple juice. Second, explain to the council why they're getting a childcare bill. Third, never let Emma find out he tastes bad to predators. That's a tactical advantage he intends to keep. Emma Rodriguez, age 8, teaches the galaxy's most terrifying bounty, hunter about human diplomacy using 3 straws and a juice box. Cathor holds the tiny plastic container between his claws, his neural interface short-circuiting between analyze for poison and adorable beverage protocol. The box says 100% real juice in cheerful letters. This might be the most confusing artifact he's ever encountered. You squeeze it from the middle, Emma explains, demonstrating with her own juice box. A tiny spurt of apple-flavored ambrosia hits Cathor's armor. His olfactory sensors report non-lethal but pleasant. Across the universe, a dozen alien diplomats are screaming into their comms. Back on the colony, Emma wipes juice off Cathor's forearm plating with her pajama sleeve. Here's the thing about galactic hunters. Their threat assessment systems don't account for snack sharing. Studies show even predators relax when resources appear abundant. Emma's not offering the juice. Because she's naive, she's weaponizing basic hospitality. Cathor's combat subroutines keep suggesting he could indeed consume the small human, but his trophy-taking claws won't cooperate. That one's yours now, Emma declares. In Cathor's culture, accepting food creates obligation debts measured in blood. His ship's database offers 17 protocols for poison detection, 0 for gift etiquette. The juice box makes a suspicious crinkling noise when he flexes it. Emma giggles. The sound short-circuits 3 of his threat response nodes. Psychologists would call this shared context bonding. Emma calls it juice time. She's already moved on to showing Cathor the proper way to line up the straw with the perforated hole. The hunter who once negotiated with interstellar warlords now stares at a tiny foil circle like it's alien tech. His HUD helpfully labels it Beverage Ingress Point. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council's panicked transmissions pile up in Cathor's comm buffer. Status update required. Has the specimen been secured? Why are our monitors showing decreased heart rates? Cathor's armor, designed to terrify civilizations, currently sports a juice box stain shaped like a lopsided heart. Emma finishes her juice with a dramatic slurp. Your turn. Cathor's mandibles twitch. His species drinks by puncturing hydration sacs with fangs meant for disemboweling. The straw seems ridiculously small, but when he tries it, the sweetness overloads his taste receptors. His pupils dilate. His tail, usually coiled to strike, thumps against the floor like a contented dog's. Empathy works like this. First the juice, then the sharing of space, then the unthinkable realization that the prey thinks you're friends. Emma watches Cathor struggle with the straw. She pats his armored knee. It's okay if you spill some. The concept floors him. In his world, mistakes earn punishment, not patience. Back on the council ship, alarms blare as Cathor's biomonitors show unprecedented readings. Adrenaline levels dropping. Cortisol production halted. The Grell scientist wails that their hunter appears to be experiencing something resembling happiness. The Pyrexians dissolve 3 console chairs in existential panic. Emma, unaware she's causing an interstellar incident, digs into her pocket. Want a snack too? She produces a slightly squashed granola bar. The wrapper claims, made with real honey. Cathor's scanners detect no toxins, but the Council's cultural database has no entry for after-juice snacks between mortal enemies. Here's where the shift happens. Cathor takes the bar. Then something extraordinary occurs. He offers Emma one of his ration cubes in return. It's nutrient-dense battle food that tastes like despair, but the gesture is unmistakable. Across the universe, anthropologists faint in unison. The Council's worst fears are coming true. Not human violence, human socialization. Emma nibbles the ration cube politely, makes a face, then says, "Thanks," with devastating sincerity. Cathor's armor pings, alerting him that his weapon systems are powering down autonomously. Not because of malfunction, because his own brain no longer registers a threat. When Emma yawns and leans against his armored side, Cathor does something that will be studied for centuries. His subvocal emitters, designed for intimidation growls, start producing a vibration. Low, steady, comforting, the galactic equivalent of a purr. His ship's medical scanner flashes a warning. Neurological repatterning detected. The "what's happening to our hunter" alerts reach critical mass when Emma climbs into Cathor's lap to examine his claw joints. "Do these come off?" she asks, poking at his retractable talons. Instead of eviscerating her, Cathor extends one carefully for inspection. His kill counter resets to 0. This is how you disarm the deadliest creature in existence, not with weapons, but with curiosity. Emma turns his claw over, fascinated by the way the joints articulate. "Cool," she pronounces, and that single word rewrites Cathor's entire mission parameters. His ship's log updates automatically. Primary objective changed from capture to protect at all costs. The Council's last desperate command pings through, abort mission in 17 languages. Cathor reads it while Emma sticks juice box straw wrappers to his pauldrons like makeshift decorations. His response to the Council is succinct. He transmits a single image, Emma asleep against his armor, juice box empty beside them. The subject. Line. New mission parameters accepted. You can armor against bullets, against granola bars and genuine interest. The universe hasn't invented a defense. Tomorrow, Cathor will carry Emma back to his ship. Not in a stasis pod. Like a parent carrying a sleeping kid from the car. The council will argue about protocols. Meanwhile, in the cargo hold, someone's sticking glow-in-the-dark stars to the ceiling, so the human child will feel at home. Empathy doesn't care about interspecies warfare. It only asks whether you're willing to share your juice. The answer, it turns out, can change the galaxy. Emma stirs in her sleep, clutching Mr. Waffles tighter. Cathor adjusts his armor to cushion her better. Somewhere in the universe, a dozen alien diplomats realize too late. They didn't send a hunter to capture a human. They gave humanity its most dangerous ambassador yet. And she came armed with snacks. The really terrifying part? Tomorrow she'll want to introduce Cathor to her entire rock collection. The council isn't ready for that level of cultural exchange. Nobody is. Let me tell you about Earth from the perspective of a confused galactic bounty hunter. Emma sits cross-legged on Cathor's armored knee, swinging her feet as she explains her home planet with the casual expertise of an 8-year-old. We have deserts where it's too hot and snow where it's too cold, she says. Cathor's database confirms both environments should be uninhabitable. Yet when he cross-references human population maps, the data shows cities thriving in both extremes. The deadliest predator in 4 galaxies struggles with this concept. His species abandoned 14 worlds for being marginally uncomfortable. Humans? They invent special shoes and call it an adventure. Emma pulls up images on her tablet. Pyramids in scorching sand, glass igloos under shimmering auroras. Each photo makes less sense than the last. His targeting visor keeps identifying humans in these locations who appear happy. Then Emma drops the real bombshell. This is Yellowstone, she says, swiping to a geyser field. Steam plumes erupt around wooden boardwalks packed with smiling tourists. Cathor's thermal scanners spike red. His internal alarms blare warnings about unstable geothermal activity. That whole place could explode, his system warns. Emma nods. Yeah, that's why you don't walk off the paths. The rangers tell you. Cathor stares. According to his database, ranger translates to designated responsible adult. His entire worldview tilts. His species designated Yellowstone-type zones as instant death sectors. Humans designated them national parks and sell souvenir mugs shaped like the boiling death pits. Chaos theory suggests a butterfly flapping its wings can cause a hurricane. Emma flips to another picture. Whole human villages built into active volcano slopes. The hot springs are great, she reads from the caption. Cathor's processors momentarily lock up. His species history includes 7 mass extinctions, triggered by volcanic activity. Humanity's response appears to be free spa weekend. The child zooms in on a house with steaming water piped directly into a backyard pool. His translation matrix struggles with the sign, luxury lava-side properties. Neural synapses that haven't fired since the Arcadian Rebellion start. Misfiring. Either human pain receptors don't work or their risk assessment algorithms are fundamentally broken. Then Emma explains domestication. Humans didn't dominate predators, Cathor learns. They invited them inside. One swipe shows a human hand scratching a massive gray predator behind the ears. That's a wolf. Another swipe. Same species, smaller and licking someone's face. That's a dog. Cathor's combat subroutines identify both as lethal threats. His cultural database insists the second image shows good boy. The cognitive dissonance gives him system errors. Emma obliviously continues her slideshow. Fluffy cats descended from jungle killers, docile cattle bred from something called Orcs, extinct. Humans ate them all. The most unsettling image shows what the child calls emotional support alligators. His brain helpfully supplies a fact. Earth's apex predators average 80% reduced aggression when regularly given snacks and belly rubs. We had pet hamsters too, Emma adds. showing a tiny furball in what appears to be a plastic mansion. They mostly just run in wheels and look cute. Cathor's databanks inform him these creatures maintain 92% genetic similarity with their wild cousins. The cousins, rabid flesh-eaters that can gnaw through battle-grade polymers. The domestic version sleeps in tiny beds shaped like race cars. Emma swipes to an image that breaks Cathor completely. A human toddler using a sleeping lion as a pillow. The caption says, "Zookeeper's kid." His threat response screams, "Evacuate." Emma says, "Aw." His translators confirm aw is a sound humans make when encountering things too adorable to kill. This raises disturbing questions about human emotional wiring. Then comes the part that rewrites Cathor's understanding of interspecies relations. At sleepovers we pile up, Emma explains. She shows photos, giggling children in blanket, forts, tangled masses of limbs and shared sleeping bags. Cathor's cultural database struggles. His species considers physical contact outside combat to be either hostile or mating related. Sleep is when you're most vulnerable. His people developed cloaking fields and sentry drones for the occasion. Humans. They invented something called cuddle puddles. The galaxy's deadliest bounty hunter watches footage of a human puppy pile with increasing distress. Adults, children, and several canines all sleeping in what his tactical visor marks as lethal crossfire formation. His threat projection shows 27 weak points. The emotional analysis registers high security and optimal rest conditions. The contradiction makes his targeting reticule spasm. Emma yawns. Cathor belatedly realizes she's demonstrated human sleep strategy through practical application. She's now draped across his armor like an honorary blanket, head pillowed on, his plasma-scarred gauntlet. His movement sensors detect no survival instinct whatsoever. The terrifying revelation creeps up on him. Humans don't conquer threats. They domesticate them through persistent affection and strategic weakness displays. His armor logs confirm Emma hasn't stopped touching him except to retrieve more juice boxes. The biological readings show his stress markers down 73% since initial contact. Cathor finally understands what the Galactic Council truly fears. Not human weapons. Their hospitality. You can armor against bullets. Against someone trusting you not to hurt them while they sleep? The universe hasn't invented a defense. Emma stirs, mumbling about dinosaurs. Cathor adjusts his armor temperature to match human comfort settings. Somewhere in the cosmos, the Mithorian ambassador senses a paradigm shift and starts stress bloating. Tomorrow, Cathor will transmit his report. It will include exactly one image, Emma asleep against his armor, surrounded by juice box evidence. The caption reads, "Mission conclusion. Humans domesticated me." The follow-up message, "Send more juice boxes." The really horrifying part? He means it. So Cathor the Destroyer gets asked the most dangerous question of his career. "Do you want to take a nap with me?" Emma yawns, already halfway curled against his armored thigh. Cathor's threat assessment system flatlines. Shared sleep in his culture means one thing: imminent betrayal. His database lists 17 assassination methods performed on sleeping targets, but Emma doesn't know galactic battle etiquette. She knows sleepovers. Her tiny fists rub at her eyes as she pats the space beside her, like Cathor's 7-foot armored frame is just an oversized plush toy. His neural interface flashes warnings. Physical vulnerability detected. His tail, usually coiled to strike, gets tugged under her arm like a security blanket. Here's how pack animals sleep. Close enough to share warmth, far enough to react. Wolves circle. Meerkats take shifts. Humans? They invented something called spooning. Emma demonstrates by plastering herself against Cathor's side armor. His temperature sensors register the contact at exactly 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The number unsettles him. His species hasn't felt external body heat since developing personal force fields. The Galactic Council's panic reaches new heights as Cathor's biomonitors transmit abnormal readings. Respiration syncing with the human child's. Muscle tension decreasing at a rate that defies evolutionary logic. Their last communication, mission compromised, goes unanswered while Cathor's targeting HUD helpfully suggests adjusting his armor to cuddle mode. Sleep studies show shared rest builds trust faster than any treaty. When brains enter delta waves together, something primal clicks. Cathor's never experienced this. His people sleep in rotating shifts inside locked pods with weaponry. Emma just nestles closer, trusting a predator who could slice her in half with a twitch to keep her safe. The cognitive dissonance makes his processors overheat. Then she snores. Not the dainty sound his database suggested human children make, a full-bodied chainsaw purr that vibrates through his armor plating. Cathor's audio receptors amplify it into something resembling an engine malfunction. His first instinct, defensive strike, gets short-circuited by Emma's hand flopping onto his chest plate like she's claiming territory. The Council's xenopsychologists are having collective strokes. Their screens show neural pathways lighting up in Cathor's brain that haven't activated since infancy. The Grell scientist keeps muttering about pathological oxytocin generation. Meanwhile, Emma drools on a pauldron that's worth more than some planetary defense systems. Here's the thing about predators. Their threat response requires two parties to participate. When prey snuggles instead of fleeing, the whole dynamic collapses. Cathor's claws retract autonomously, his systems prioritizing don't puncture small human over combat readiness. His tail, now functioning as a makeshift pillow, develops an involuntary curl around Emma's ankles. Sleep rituals rewrite social contracts faster than diplomacy. Emma mumbles something about dinosaurs, her hot breath fogging Cathor's armor display. His targeting visor, designed to calculate kill shots, starts tracking her REM cycles instead. The Council's alarms blare as their war machine's priority list updates in real time. Keep small human warm too. Quietly murder anything that might wake small human. The shift happens without fanfare. Cathor's subvocal emitters, calibrated for intimidation, drop to a frequency that matches human lullabies. His armor, forged in the fires of conquest, adjusts its rigid angles to better cradle a sleeping child. The deadliest hunter in known space becomes a glorified heated mattress. Emma proves humanity's greatest weapon isn't adaptability. It's their pathological trust in unlikely guardians. She stirs just enough to pat Cathor's faceplate. "You're warm," she mumbles as if this explains everything. In her sleep logic, it does. Predators aren't threats. They're organic space heaters with built-in security features. Cold-blooded species don't understand the visceral comfort of shared warmth. Cathor's people haven't huddled for survival since the Stone Age. But when Emma shivers, his armor's climate control kicks on automatically. The Council's warning about overheating systems goes ignored as Cathor cranks his surface temperature to human sauna levels. Evolutionary biologists would call this interspecies symbiosis. Emma calls it good napping. She's turned the galaxy's most lethal killing machine into a glorified teddy bear through sheer force of unconsciousness. Her pulse steadies against his armor, slow, trusting, completely unguarded. Cathor's threat analysis software categorizes the vibration pattern as acceptable risk. The Council's last-ditch attempt to regain control comes through as a priority alert. Cathor's neural interface projects the message across his HUD in urgent crimson. Mission parameters compromised. Initiate termination protocols. Emma chooses that moment to fling an arm across his chest plate. Her fingers brush the manual release for his plasma cannon. Cathor doesn't move to stop her. The weapon could incinerate half the colony. Emma yawns, her palm resting over the trigger like it's just another button on a toy. Here's the tipping point. Predators don't let prey touch their fangs. Yet Cathor remains perfectly still as tiny fingers explore the deadliest weapon systems in 4 galaxies. Not because he's weak. Because for the first time in his existence, something trusts him not to be dangerous. The message from command self-destructs unread. Emma's breathing deepens. Cathor's combat AI suggests 16 strategic advantages to their current position. None involve moving. His targeting reticle, trained on the colony's power grid hours earlier, now tracks a fly buzzing near Emma's head. The cannon that could level cities powers up silently. Not to destroy, but to vaporize an insect before it disturbs her sleep. Shared vulnerability rewires instincts faster than any battle. Cathor's people believe sleep is when enemies strike. Humans believe sleep is when friends stand guard. The distinction collapses his entire worldview. When Emma nestles closer, he doesn't brace for attack. He adjusts his armor plating to better block the draft from the ventilation shaft. The Galactic Council's screens go dark as Cathor shuts off his transmission feed. Their last image, a 7-foot-tall war machine curled protectively around a sleeping child, both illuminated by the soft glow of nightlight mode, weapons powered down, defenses recalibrated, threat assessment permanently altered. Emma murmurs something in her sleep. Cathor's translation matrix struggles with the garbled syntax before landing on approximate meaning. Stay. His systems log the command as non-negotiable. Somewhere in the universe, a dozen alien ambassadors realize too late. They didn't lose a hunter to humanity. They gave humanity the perfect bodyguard, and that's when the pirate alarm goes off. Emma barely stirs as Cathor's combat systems roar back online. His weapons reboot with new targeting parameters: maximum efficiency, minimum collateral damage. The predator who once collected skulls now calculates blast radii based on proximity. To sleeping quarters, his priority list updates in flashing text. Protect NAP2, eliminate threats. Find better pillow. The pirates don't stand a chance. They're expecting Cathor the Destroyer. They get Cathor the Nightlight instead, and nobody warned them about the upgraded firmware. Emma sleeps through the whole thing. That's how you know the system works. The alarms blare just as Emma's finishing her apple juice. Cathor's combat systems snap online, scanning for threats. What he finds: 3 Varan pirate skiffs breaching the colony's perimeter. Their weapons charge with a whine that sets his targeting visor flashing red. Emma tilts her head. Are those the bad guys? She asks, like they're characters in her cartoons. Cathor braces for fear. Panic, the standard organic response to imminent violence. Emma grabs his claw instead. You gotta go left at the 3rd junction, she says, as if directing him to the bathroom. His neural interface stalls. Pirates swarm the corridors, professional raiders who've sacked 17 worlds. Emma tracks their movement on his HUD with unsettling calm. They're being loud on purpose. Here's the thing about child tactical genius: it doesn't overcomplicate. Adults strategize. Kids cut to the core. Emma points at the flickering red dots. They left their ship guarded by one guy. Her nose scrunches. That's dumb. Cathor's database contains 6,000 combat maneuvers. None account for enemy assessments delivered in the tone of playground taunts. The pirates hit the first airlock. Emma tugs Cathor's armor. We should go here. Her finger lands on a maintenance shaft his systems marked as irrelevant. When? He hesitates. She rolls her eyes, actual eye-rolling at galactic mercenaries, and explains, it goes behind them. The simplicity guts him. His tactical AI spits probabilities. Hers just sees the obvious path. Violence looks different through 8-year-old ethics. Emma's rules emerge between juice box sips. Don't break stuff people need. Try not to hurt them too bad. If they run away, let them. Each lands like a gut punch. Cathor's programming offers 17 lethal responses to boarding actions. Emma counters with, what if we just scare them? Research shows children assess threats through primal filters. Anger is hot, fear is cold, running is preferable to fighting. Emma watches the pirates on Cathor's display and categorizes them instantly. That one's scared, she says, pointing to a shaking rifle barrel. Those 2 are mad. The 3rd? Just dumb. Her moral algebra is terrifyingly precise. Cathor moves, not with the flair of a bounty hunter, but the efficiency Emma demands. His plasma cannon fires exactly once, melting a weapon mount without touching the pirate. The man gapes at his smoking hardware. Emma nods approval. Good job not hitting him. Praise shouldn't disarm warriors, yet Cathor stands straighter. The real shift comes when they corner the pirate's leader. The Voran snarls. Vibroblades extending. Classic last stand theatrics. Cathor's targeting locks onto his spinal cord. Emma grabs his arm. Wait. She steps forward. Not fearless, just stubborn. You should go home, she tells the 6-foot-tall killer. Your ship's really ugly anyway. Laughter is a weapon the Voran aren't armored against. Their leader's grip falters. Cathor could strike, should strike. Emma's voice pipes up. If you leave now, we won't break your toys. She means their ship. The pirates misunderstand. They glance at Cathor's claws and bolt like scolded dogs. Post-combat diagnostics show abnormalities. Cathor's aggression markers are down 89%. His systems log the encounter not as a battle, but a conflict resolution exercise. Emma peers at the readouts. You stopped when I asked, she observes. Like this is normal. It's not. No one stops Cathor mid-strike. No one until now. The pirate's communicator crackles to life, their backup demanding status. Emma answers before Cathor can. We're playing hide-and-seek, she chirps. You're losing. Static. Then panicked retreat coordinates. Here's what the galaxy misunderstands about human children. They weaponize expectations. Pirates anticipate fear or fury. They don't know how to process being teased by something half their size. Emma's not naive. She's exploiting their confusion with the precision of a master interrogator. Cathor's combat subroutines update in real time. Lethal force options gray out. Non-lethal tactics highlighted. His database pings with a new classification. Violence as tool, optional. No galactic warrior has ever considered carnage circumstantial. Emma pats his claw. See? Better, right? Ethical violence studies suggest restraint stems from empathy or weakness. Emma proves a third option, efficiency. Why kill pirates when mocking them achieves the same result? As the Voran flee, she nods sagely. Break their stuff, they learn. Break them, they come back angrier. This isn't pacifism. It's applied psychology from someone who's negotiated desert privileges. Cathor's HUD displays damage reports. Minimal structural harm. No fatalities. His mission success metrics should be blinking red. Instead, a new alert flashes. Collateral damage prevention bonus achieved. Emma coughs pointedly. My juice box survived. Somehow this registers as a vital statistic. Later, amid the wreckage, Emma examines a discarded vibroblade. It's just a tool, she declares, like she's grading crayon art. Cathor freezes. His species worships weapons as extensions of the self. To humans, a sword's no different than a wrench. Useful in context, irrelevant otherwise. Emma hands him the blade, handle first. You could hurt people with this. She pauses. Or open juice boxes. The cognitive whiplash nearly shorts his processors. A weapon that's dispensed death across star systems now judged by its hypothetical ability to puncture drink packaging. The Voran won't understand why they lost. Their report will cite unknown tactical variables. What really defeated them? An 8-year-old's ironclad belief that fights should end when someone says, stop. Cathor's internal logs mark the moment with eerie clarity. Primary. Directive updated. New parameters. 1. Protect human. 2. Minimize wreckage. 3. Save juice boxes. Emma's brushing soot off her pajamas like she just took out the trash. Can we nap now? She asks, as though they didn't psychologically dismantle hardened raiders. Cathor's combat AI suggests remaining vigilant for counterattacks. His new primary directive overrides it. Priority 1. Secure napping conditions. Here's the joke the universe missed. Humanity's greatest tacticians wear footy pajamas. Emma directs Cathor to drag a pirate's dropped coat over herself like a blanket. The Voran insignia means nothing to her. It's soft. That's enough. As she dozes against his armor, Cathor's system processes the engagement. His translation. Matrix lands on a human concept, proportionality. Emma fought to stop the fight, not win it. The realization rewires his combat algorithms permanently. The Galactic Council's alarms blare again. Not for pirates, but the transmission Cathor sends them. It's a single image. Emma asleep, using a stolen vibro blade as a makeshift pillow. The caption, "Tools have multiple uses." Tomorrow he'll explain human diplomacy to the council. Right now his armor switches to nighttime mode. The pirates got off easy. The bureaucrats won't. Emma snores softly. Somewhere 3 Voran captains are buying juice boxes in bulk. Just in case. The Galactic Council chambers weren't designed for 8-year-olds. The holographic displays hover too high. The chairs don't come in child sizes. And the Zix ambassador keeps dripping acidic stress mucus on the floor that smells uncomfortably like pickle juice. Emma Rodriguez surveys this mess with juice-stained lips and settles the only way she knows how. By climbing onto Cathor's armored shoulders for a better view. "You guys do this every day?" she asks, kicking her feet. The Mathorian ambassador's tentacles stiffen. For 12 species used to centuries of rigid diplomacy, a human child is like a grenade in a china shop, impossible to ignore and alarmingly cheerful about the chaos. Cathor's claws flex. His contract said nothing about providing elevation services for small humans. Emma starts with the basics. At home, we vote on stuff. The council's translators were. Their databases cough up vague references to primitive consensus rituals. What they don't understand, humans let children participate. Emma's proof. She recites her elementary school's rules like sacred text. No cutting in line. Share the good markers. Bullies get timeouts. The simplicity terrifies them. Hierarchies collapse when a second grader explains them. The Grell scientist sputters about chain of command. Emma counters with playground logic. If the big kids get all the swings, everybody gets mad. Her fingers leave sticky prints on Cathor's visor as she points at the council's seating chart. Why do those guys sit farther back? The Pyrexians dissolve another chair in embarrassment. Human governance studies show inclusive systems outperform rigid ones. Emma demonstrates via crayon. She commandeers a display screen, overriding 17 security protocols, and sketches a lopsided circle. This is how we do show and tell. The council watches in horror as she draws stick figures taking turns holding a teddy bear. Their entire political structure, reduced to kindergarten sharing exercises. Empathy scales weirdly in interspecies relations. The Volpax ambassador argues for strict species categorization. Emma blinks. But what if someone's mom is one thing and their dad's another? Half the council chokes. Hybridization unsettles them. Emma shrugs. My cousin has 2 dads and a turtle. The statement hangs in the air like a bad smell. Cathor's armor logs the exact moment 3 ambassadors short circuit. Then comes the real bombshell. We adopt stuff, Emma announces like she's describing cloud shapes. The council's databases scramble. Adoption translates literally as forced, cultural assimilation. Emma pulls up images. Families with different skin tones, households with rescue pets, cities where pigeons perch on statues of historical figures. My friend has a fox that sleeps in her bed. The Zix ambassador faints. Statistically, diverse communities thrive. The councils never run the numbers. Their systems are too busy classifying Emma as a biohazard. She scratches her knee, oblivious. At my school, the lunch ladies know who's allergic to peanuts. This shouldn't shock anyone, it does. The Mathorians have wars over lunch menu disputes. Here's where the cracks show. The Voran delegate insists strength demands separation. Emma tilts her head. Like when my big brother wouldn't share his toys. She pauses. He got timeout. The translation matrix short circuits trying to map timeouts onto interstellar politics. Cathor's visor displays 17 tactical scenarios where designated quiet corners could prevent galactic conflicts. Human soft power looks like nonsense until it works. Emma swings her legs, knocking over a ceremonial urn. Sorry, she says, without real regret. The council's used to groveling, not careless apologies. Emma's already moved on, explaining her neighborhood block party. Mr. Chen brings the good egg rolls. The Johnsons always forget napkins. It's a masterclass in social cohesion, delivered with grass stains on her elbows. Authority bleeds away in drips. The Pyrexian floats lower, subconsciously matching Emma's eye level. The Grell's datapad displays increasingly frantic notes. Subject: exhibits no fear of superiors and recommend reassessing dominance displays. Emma yawns. The Council's centuries of protocol crumble to dust. Who's in charge here? Emma asks. 12 ambassadors stiffen. Everybody, she answers herself. But also nobody gets to be mean. The simplicity annihilates their bureaucracy. Cathor's logs note the ambient tension dropped by 63% despite multiple species contemplating existential dread. Then, the killing blow. Emma hops down from Cathor's shoulders, landing with a slap of sneakers on alien marble. She faces the Council, not as a subject but a peer. We could be friends with everybody, she declares like it's obvious. Then nobody has to be scared. Silence. The kind that follows paradigm shifts. The Mythorian's tentacles quiver with the horrible realization. Humans don't conquer, they connect. Their power comes not from crushing enemies, but from making the very concept of enemies seem silly. Emma beams, juice box remnants crusting at the corners of her mouth. Want to see my rock collection? She offers. The Grell diplomat whimpers. That's when the Terran colonial marines burst in. Colonel Rodriguez takes one look at the scene, his daughter surrounded by shell-shocked aliens, Cathor serving as an impromptu jungle gym, and holsters his weapon. Emma, he sighs, like this is just another Tuesday. The Council's last illusion shatters. Human authority figures don't arrive furious. They arrive tired. Emma waves. Daddy, these guys need better chairs. Cathor watches the ambassadors fold like cheap lawn furniture. His mission parameters update one final time. Primary objective complete. Human-acquired Galactic Council. Awaiting. Snack distribution. The Voron delegate weeps openly. Nobody blames him. Rodriguez surveys the wreckage of interspecies diplomacy. Anyone want to explain? He asks mildly. Emma pockets a shiny council badge. We're doing show and tell, she announces. On the view screen, 17 nearby colonies request emergency membership in Humanity's block party. The agenda includes juice, boxes, and better chairs. The Council's rulebook spontaneously combusts. Cathor picks apple juice remnants from his armor joints. Somewhere in the universe, 1,000 warlords sense impending playdates and shudder. Emma takes her father's hand. Can Mr. Scaly come for dinner? She asks. The question breaks 3 more ambassadors. Rodriguez eyes the 7-foot-tall killing machine. Cathor stares back, visor smudged with fingerprints. A juice box dangles from his belt like a trophy. Sure, Rodriguez says, but he washes up first. The galaxy will never be the same. The Terran colonial marines arrive in full combat. Gear, power armor thrumming, weapons check lights blinking green. Colonel Rodriguez steps through the smoke of their dramatic entrance, takes one look at his daughter sitting cross-legged on Cathor's knee, and visibly resists the urge to facepalm. Emma, he sighs, his voice carrying the particular exhaustion of a parent who expected this call eventually. The Council braces for fury. What they get is a man settling his hands on his hips like he's found crayon marks on the walls again. You have something that belongs to us, Rodriguez says, perfectly calm. That's the first mistake the aliens make, assuming anger equals strength. Human parents perfected the art of quiet disappointment millennia ago. Rodriguez's helmet retracts, revealing crow's feet and the ghost of a beard. He looks less like a conquering hero and more like a guy who missed lunch. The Council expected threats. They get a dad asking politely for his kid back. Here's the thing about human expansionism. We don't invade, we move in next door. Rodriguez surveys the council chambers, noting the cracked marble where Emma presumably dropped something heavy. His expression says, "We'll discuss this later," in the universal language of parenthood. The Vulpax ambassador hisses about territorial sovereignty. Rodriguez scratches his chin. You sent a bounty hunter after an 8-year-old, he points out. The ambassadors suddenly find the ceiling fascinating. Soft power studies show family units project stability better than fleets. Rodriguez demonstrates by kneeling to check Emma for scrapes. His armor makes whirring noises that sound suspiciously, like a pediatric scanner. "Did you eat?" he asks. Emma nods, producing a half-eaten protein bar from who knows where. The Grell scientist's tentacles shudder. Human caregiving looks nothing like the clinical nurturing of other species. It's messy, improvised, devastatingly effective. Emma tugs her father's gauntlet. "Can Mr. Scaly come over?" The question snaps the tension like a twig. Rodriguez eyes the 7-foot-tall war machine currently wearing juicebox straw wrappers as decoration. Cathar stands perfectly still, suddenly understanding prey animal instincts. His neural interface throws up 17 tactical options. All involve looking non-threatening, which is new. "Does he behave?" Rodriguez asks, dead serious. The council collectively chokes. They're watching someone negotiate with their apex predator, like it's a playdate permission slip. Cathar's systems generate a morality report in real time, recent actions including juicebox sharing, pirate intimidation, and exemplary naptime conduct. The data objectively suggests he's reformed. His targeting computer marks this as concerning. Human parenting tactics work on a simple premise. Everyone is somebody's child. Rodriguez looks Cathar up and down, then shrugs. "Bring your own snacks." The casual acceptance destroys 3 ambassadors' worldviews. The Mathorian projectile releases stress ink across 6 seats. Rodriguez pays more attention to checking Emma's socks for holes. Here's how human diplomacy operates through persistent, almost annoying inclusiveness. Emma starts naming which council members should come to dinner. The Pyrexian ambassador gets invited specifically because he looks like a glow stick. No one has the heart to explain Pyrexians consider being touched deeply offensive. Rodriguez nods along like this is a normal PTA meeting, not intergalactic first contact. Studies on family-centered authority suggest humans operate on fractal trust. If you're safe for the kid, you're safe for the species. Rodriguez releases Emma to show Cathar how human handshakes work. The bounty hunter's claw engulfs the colonel's armored glove. Both register the implicit contract. Any aggression voids the dinner invitation and probably gets you banned from future birthdays. The Varan pirate delegate, still nursing bruises, chooses this moment to protest. Rodriguez silences him by holding up one finger, the universal "dad is talking" gesture. The pirates instinctively straighten up. Later, analysts will determine this reaction stems from deep evolutionary recognition of pack hierarchy. The truth is scarier. They responded to vibes. Rodriguez turns to the council. "So," he adjusts Emma's crooked collar, "we doing this the easy way?" His tone suggests the easy way involves casseroles and possibly board games. The ambassadors glance at Emma's sticky hands, Cathar's newly acquired plushie collection, and the slowly dissolving remains of their dignity. The choice is obvious. Human expansion follows predictable patterns. First comes the kid, then the parent, then the entire sprawling apparatus of barbecues, school districts, and neighborhood watch programs. The council's world is about to get sidewalks. Rodriguez takes Emma's hand, nodding toward the exit. "Your mom made lasagna." Emma cheers. Cathar hesitates only a second before following, his contract officially voided by superior authority, a child's dinner invitation. The ambassadors whisper as they leave. "This isn't colonization," the Grell insists. "It's infestation." They're not wrong. Humans spread like dandelions. Cheerful, persistent, impossible to fully remove. Emma waves goodbye with her free hand. The Pyrexian waves back before catching himself. 3 species request cultural exchange programs before Rodriguez even reaches the door. Here's the secret of the Rodriguez effect. It works because it's not a tactic. It's just how humans are. Emma skips alongside her father, chatting about her new friends. Cathar looms behind them, carrying juice boxes instead of trophies. The Marines fall in step, weapons slung, already discussing whether lasagna counts as a diplomatic tool. The council watches them go. On the view screen, 17 nearby colonies petition for Terran membership. The documents cite education opportunities and community values. No one mentions the real draw. Someone finally figured out how to make the galaxy feel like a neighborhood. The Voran pirate leader mutters about weakness. Then he quietly asks an aide to research human dinner etiquette. Emma turns at the threshold. "Bye," she calls, as if they'll see each other tomorrow. The Council knows with dreadful certainty that they will. Humanity doesn't conquer. It includes. Resistance is technically possible, but who says no to a kid with crayon drawings of your species? Cathor pauses at the airlock. His systems should be scanning for threats. Instead, they're calculating optimal lasagna consumption rates. His neural interface logs the moment as primary objective achieved, assimilation complete. The Council's last transmission to Central Command reads simply, "Send more juice boxes." The galaxy braces for impact. Not from warships. From bake sales. Emma swings their joined hands as they walk to the ship. "Daddy, can we get ice cream after?" Rodriguez sighs. The Marines hide grins. Cathor's database helpfully lists 3 nearby frozen dessert providers with high safety ratings. Somewhere, 1,000 warlords sense their impending obsolescence and don't understand why the thought fills them with relief. Humanity's final frontier isn't space. It's the communal table where enemies become awkward acquaintances, then friends, then family members who argue about dish duty. The Rodriguez effect doesn't require weapons, just an extra chair, a serving spoon, and the unshakable belief that everyone's one shared meal away from becoming civilized. As the airlock closes behind them, the ambassadors sit in silence. The Mathorian tentatively extends a food sample. Emma left behind something called fruit snacks. They taste like surrender. Sweet gummy surrender. The view screen updates with a new message from Earth. Subject, Neighborhood Watch sign-up. Attached, a crayon map of the galaxy, with everyone living happily ever after. Some revolutions don't need gunfire. They just need someone to pass the garlic bread. The galaxy prepared for human warships. They got juice boxes instead. Emma didn't conquer Cathor. She rebooted him. Turns out the deadliest hunter just needed someone to share snacks with. Empathy's funny like that. It doesn't just stop fights, it rewires the fighters. The Council feared humanity's aggression when they should have studied our playgrounds. Domination's easy. Getting cosmic killers to attend tea parties, that's the real endgame. So here's the question. If a 7-foot alien hunter landed in your backyard demanding trophies, would you offer the good juice boxes? Because history's written by whoever brings the better snacks. The galaxy's learning, slowly, through straws, past the apple juice. We've got neighbors to meet.